Hey guys, welcome back for the prediction playlist for the CDL season. These are my predictions for Major 1. So, I know it was a little iffy last for the Kickoff Classic, but honestly, I do think there's some teams that we could see in the potential future become great. But as of right now, I think there's certain teams that are already great. So, starting off at number 1, I would like to say that the Atlanta FaZe, even though they got knocked out in the first match, they're still a very good team. Last year, they got kicked out of their Kickoff Classic, and they came back and won like every single major. So I think they're going to probably do that again, come back hot this weekend, and just most likely win it all. I think they are my number 1 seed to win it all, just because they have a chip on their shoulder and they're looking to redeem themselves from last time. The second team I think that are going to make it out from the major that is going to go up against Atlanta FaZe is going to be the LA Thieves. And I know that they lost to Ultra, but if you think about it, Ultra won the whole thing. So that means Thieves took them all the way to almost, like, it's really crazy. But I honestly think the Thieves could have a chance of winning just because of how good they look. And they have so much to improve on. Like, they made so little mistakes that once they fix those little mistakes, especially on maps when they have to rotate on hardpoint, like on Tuscan, like, come on, like they had every right to win that map. But besides that, like, they just need to focus up and do what they need to do. I know they like to have fun, and yeah, it's fun to have fun because you can see it as they play. But they also need to focus up and focus on their little mistakes. That way, nothing gets through them. That way, they keep on winning, and they hopefully win the classic, the Major 1. The second team that I think will make it out is, of course, the champions of the Kickoff Classic, Toronto Ultra. They came into last season looking a little slow and then started becoming champions. Well, now they started off as champions. Like, they won and they faced really good teams. And honestly, they look like a well-oiled machine. None of them really stand out. None of them are really big players, if that makes any sense. None of them do a lot of things to fix it. They just work. Their teamwork is excellent, and you could see the way they play the map. They're always set up. They're always making sure they fix their micro adjustments, and that's how they won. That's how they beat every team this Kickoff Classic. And the last team that I think will come out of Major 1 is the Seattle Surge. The reason I say the Seattle Surge is I know they're new, a lot of rookies, but come on now. Dave Patty with the pistol is disgusting. That man can YY you. He was just disgusting, and he was beaming from a distance with a pistol to get double kills. Like, just imagine that. Then you have Pred. Pred was slaying his ass off this whole time, and you can't say he wasn't, because he dropped, I think it was plus 30 or plus 25 in control in one round. Who does that? Like, no one in the CDL does that. And honestly, I feel like this is just the start, and this is going to continue. Now, of course, there's more teams that still need to develop and come up. Other teams that might come out are the Boston team. They looked really good. They just need more practice, because clearly there was like more, like, they had time to practice, but they still need to get in rhythm with each other. At least that's what it looks like from my perspective. Another team, Optic Texas, they just have to get their shit together, honestly, because they're so good. Like, you can't leave Dashy in a 4v1 all the time in Search. Like, that's the reason they went down. And if they need to fix their Search game, because they look really solid on other game modes, you know, just LA Thieves, you know, they were just better at that time. But like, Optic Texas has the ability and just needs to practice more to be good. Another team that could possibly come up with the upset is New York Subliners. And New York Subliners look so strong the whole thing, but due to, you know, vacation and making sure everybody has time with their family, like, they didn't really have much practice time before the Kickoff Classic. And now that they're back, they're practicing non-stop. If you watch their scrims, they're disgusting. Hydra keep on, you know, he's popping off. He made so many good plays, and I feel that those like 2 to 3 teams that I just mentioned are gonna be possible contenders for the Major 1, but they're not gonna take it. Like, I think it's either gonna be between Atlanta, Thieves, Ultra, or Surge. And I know that's crazy to say that, but I honestly think those right now are the 4 strongest teams, just because of what we saw at the kickoff classic, and without really having much time to prepare for the league. So I honestly think for Major 1, like, those are going to be the 4 teams. I feel like the team that comes out on top is either going to be Atlanta FaZe or Toronto Ultra. I mean, personally, I'm a huge 100 Thieves fan, but 100 Thieves still needs to fix their micro adjustments, and I honestly don't see them fixing that by this Major 1. So I think Toronto would take it all, honestly. And it's sad to say that, but they're really good because they have no micro adjustments to be made. They're so solid on the map that all they need to do is improve their skills and their gunnies. But they make up for that in Kleenex, because Kleenex, he is the main slayer, and you could clearly tell by any gameplay you watch over the kickoff classic that he was getting all the kills while his team was setting up, and that's what it has to be done. Keep on doing it, and
To say that again, my apologies.
And his team just has to keep on doing that. And yeah, so I honestly think that the 2 teams facing off at the end would be the Atlanta FaZe and Toronto Ultra. But Atlanta FaZe, like, we don't know what they're capable of yet. Like, they didn't really show much this kickoff classic. They are still really good. We just don't know how good, just because of what happened to them. So I would have to give the overall, like, major dub to the Toronto Ultra. I feel like they'll come out winning this Major 1, but next major, there's gonna be so many more contenders that you won't understand. Like, you won't even know who's gonna come out. Like, it'll basically be like a free-for-all of which team, because every team has the possibility of being really good. It's just who gets there first. And honestly, I feel with a couple weeks like under their belt and all the rookies getting settled after this Major 1, I feel like everybody's gonna come out to fight even harder for Major 2, and it'll just create chaos. But stay tuned for another video on that. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it, do what you want, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.